Welcome back to your Sunday Chronos Pulse with Crypto Warehouse. Good morning, my name is Mike and we have another banger of a show today. We're going to go through probably the coolest thing Crypto.com have ever done. That's what we're going to start with. Then we're going to look at some of these really nice Amplify missions that you can get involved with, that even if you're in the top 100 on Amplify, you can still win big with some of these competitions. We're then going to talk you through the WAM interview that we carried out this week with Danny. We're going to show you some clips of that and tell you how you can watch that as well. We're going to talk about Moonlander looking to do some live streams. We're going to talk about traffic from Elder Carl. And then we're going to finish with the Monkey Muscle Heist. At the end of the show, there's going to be some important upgrades to Chronos Pulse that I want to mention to you. So stay tuned and let's begin with the coolest thing Crypto.com have ever done. Now, first up, of course, it's no longer Halloween. However, it was only a couple of days ago. And Crypto.com dropped what I think is the coolest thing they have ever done. And I'm going to play it for you so you can see for yourself what you think about this advert.
The market never sleeps, neither do we.
Wanna play? The market's alive.
Sweet dreams are made of green.
They all float when it's green. Do you like scary pops?
Now, whoever made that video needs to take over the Crypto.com X account, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the kind of stuff we want to see. We don't want to see boring tweets. What would you do if you had $1 million? The house is green because everything's green. It's crap. Do something really cool like this, Crypto.com and Chris, because this was really, really nice. Now, something else that's really nice is Amplify. Now, for those of you that don't know, Amplify is a social media experiment from WolfSwap. In it, you basically talk about Chronos-related projects or Wolfies or WolfSwap-related projects. You add those tweets to Amplify, and depending on how well that tweet does, depending on high up the leaderboard you get, and every week, every moon day, you are rewarded. But in addition to the leaderboard, which is very, very compact, and many of you might not get anywhere near the top 50, that's fine, because they also have these. These are the missions over on Amplify. Mad Merge is the latest one. This, I think, came out last night or this morning. Quote, retweet this post and mention Mad Meerkat's NFT. You've got 3 days to complete the mission, as 10 of you will be splitting a $550,000 moon bag, $250 in total, and you simply follow the instructions, go over to Amplify. I'm going to leave a link down below in a minute, and you simply submit the link there. And 10 people will be chosen to win 55,000 moon each. You can't say fairer than that. I think that's what, about $25 each? I think 10 winners. So $25 each for tweeting about Mad Meerkat's NFT. You can't say fairer than that. Now, of course, I will leave the link up below. I am not logged in for security purposes, but Amplify is very simple. You sign in with your X account. You create an account on WolfSwap. If you don't already have one, please use my link, because that makes me look good. And the missions appear on the right-hand side. Once you've done so many tweets, you are added to the missions and you can take part in them. There is actually an explainer video here explaining how Amplify works. And down below all of this, you can see the leaderboard. This countdown is a 7-day countdown that refreshes every 7 days. You can see the top people this week. Samurai Smart, the OG quiz winner of Crypto Warehouse himself, is in 2nd position. Counselor A is 1st. And Ram, not going to pronounce that name, is in 3rd. And you'll see some very, very familiar names as you scroll down here. I am terrible at Amplify, because you need to have 12 hours between each tweet. I'm not awake for a 12-hour period in a day, so I managed to do maybe one a day. But, you know, I'm old. So make sure to go and check that out. It's really, really, really cool. Now, WAM are arriving on the Chronos chain. They're already on Solana, they're already on the BSC chain, and now they are coming to the Chronos chain. The decentralized AI gaming infrastructure where AI agents, games, and developers meet. we took time out of our week and out of their very busy schedule to interview them this week. And our very own Brogan interviewed Danny for over an hour, asking them all the questions that you would expect to be asked about tokenomics, about the future of WAM, how they got to where they were, the obstacles that they have faced, any inspirational quotes that they may have for the audience. We did this interview, and I think this was published on Monday or Tuesday this week. We're going to leave a link to that interview down below. Please make sure to go and check out that interview. It was really, really good. Danny came across really, really well, explaining how they've got to where they are today. And as you scroll up their account, they are leaving hints as to what they are planning to do when they arrive on the Kronos chain. So make sure to go and follow them on X and watch our interview with Danny over on YouTube. Now, unlike the Crypto.com intern that we would like to be thrown out and never allowed back in the office, we like the Moonlander intern. They interact with the community, they talk to their community, and they're not there just to have lip service. And one of the things they're asking for is they need friends to trade with on live streams, and we think this is a really, really good idea. If you have a camera and a microphone and you want to go and you want to live trade with Moonlander, now is the opportunity. They are announcing this, Crowfam who is in, and down here we have Pamper. I think Pamper would be a great person to have on the show. Certainly, I do want to see somebody's face though, guys. I must admit, it's a lot more interactive when you can see the people who are trading live. So much as I would love to see this, I want to see Pamper on there. As I said, if you've got a camera and a microphone, head over to Moonlander and let the intern know that you would like to trade with them. I've seen, I think Stonksy does it, who works with that Martini guy. They do their live streams and have their faces on camera. I think it just adds that personal touch. So make sure to go and check that out. Next up then, we have traffic from Elder Carl. Again, we cover as many spaces as we can on here. I know 21 million does spaces, but they are ad hoc, and he creates them when he sees a position where there is no space to talk about Kronos, or he'll join spaces, but they're not on a regular interval. And that's why we cover the likes of Pamper, that's why we cover the likes of the Poker Night by Monkey Muscle. Elder Carl does these pretty much, I would say, 4 to 5 times a week, depending on his schedule, and he gets people on. So Synthopia were on a few days ago. Down here, he can have a general space where he talks about what's going on in the market. Sometimes he gets people up. They talk about the most common events that are happening, whether Crypto.com have announced something or Kronos chain upgrades, whatever it might be. But please go and show your face on one of these traffic spaces, okay? They get good numbers. Hundreds of people will tune into these, but that doesn't mean they don't need hundreds more. So go and give Elder Carl a follow and go and listen into some of these spaces. And if you can't listen to them at night, obviously it's past my bedtime because I think it's about 11 p.m. of an evening. I'm normally in bed way before then. Make sure to go and listen in. And if you can't catch it and something interesting is being talked about, play the recording and at least stay involved with the community. Listen to what people have got to say. And remember, it is okay in this 2025 world. It's okay for other people to have opinions that don't match your opinions, okay? You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater because somebody is red and you are blue, or vice versa. Go and check out Elder Carl. Go and listen to what's happening in the industry. And of course, when the AMAs come on, they're really good to listen to. I think they've had Moonlander, they've had Obsidian on there, they've had Synthopia on there. I think probably Wolfies have been on there as well. So you do get to hear what's going on. And for me, this is the best space in Kronos. And finally, from the team that brought you the best poker night in Kronos, Monkey Muscle, on the 3rd of November, which I believe is tomorrow, they will be having a heist. Are you going to hold your nerve or are you going to chicken out? Now, if you've got no idea what I'm talking about because you've never seen this before, there are some videos down here explaining how this works. So what you need to do is go over to Monkey Muscle. There's the video right in front of my eyes. Go over to Monkey Muscle, give them a follow, go and join their Discord channel and go and get involved with them. Remember, their poker night, hundreds of people play their poker night. Now, they didn't do it last week, and there's a good chance they're not doing it this week, but I don't think it's the end of the poker night. So if you want to be fully immersed in the Chronos chain. You want to be watching or listening, to Elder Carl. That's in the evening. You want to be listening to Pamper on a Monday, Tuesday afternoon. I think Thursday afternoon doesn't do it. You listen to Pamper in the afternoon, and then every Sunday night you want to be playing poker with Monkey Muscle. That's as much as anybody needs to be on any chain. That's about 10 hours a week. But that keeps you involved with the community, and you'll get to know people, and that's the most important thing, okay? X and Discord, they are not faceless, featureless, personality-less ways. They are ways for you to communicate with other human beings around the world. So get involved with Monkey Muscle and Elder Carl and Pamper, and of course don't forget to follow us, because we try and bring you as much of the relevant news as possible every week. So there you have it, another Chronos Pulse in the bag. Please make sure to like, subscribe and follow to everybody we have mentioned on the show. Elder Carl, Monkey Muscle, Wolfies, Wolf Swap, Moonlander. Go and give them all a follow. Now, a couple of updates to the Chronos Pulse. I am likely to miss a couple towards the end of this month, but that's simply because I'm going in for a very, very minor operation. So I'm probably going to miss the 20th, 23rd, whichever date that is. I'm certainly going to miss that Sunday and maybe the Sunday after. The second thing is there are projects that we have been talking about on Chronos Pulse for the last 6 to 9 months that simply have never interacted with Chronos Pulse. They've never liked one of the videos, they've never commented, they've never interacted. Now, times are hard. If you don't interact or even like one of our videos, we are simply going to stop mentioning them. We are not expecting people to jump out of the windows with excitement at being mentioned on the Chronos Pulse, certainly, but it doesn't take 2 seconds to hit like on one of our videos, and we are trying to grow the channel. So if you've not interacted for a period of 6 months or more, we will no longer be talking about you or mentioning you on the Chronos Pulse, because we think that's fair. Giving you 6 months, I think, is plenty of time. Now, one last thing. That is, we have the next Wolfies Quiz Night coming up on, I believe, the 19th of November. It might be the 18th of November. I'm going to leave it on the screen now. That we're going to do in next week's Chronos Pulse, but bookmark the date and bookmark the time and turn up and you can win a bag of Moon. Until next Sunday, Crow fam, take care. Goodbye.